Windows wide, the curtains fly to catch the evening breeze. Without you here to keep me warm, believe I'd rather freeze. Believe I'd rather freeze. And how long can we walk that line between the sea and sand? How long can we bide our time for dreams we never planned? For dreams we never planned. When the sky said the winter time is coming on, and you cry to see a shadow, babe, it's growing long across the lawn, another song. Tuesday night, it's 3 a.m.
So we had wanted to go to Devil's Postpile. It's another one of these places that we've never been to. We've actually never been to it, unlike Yosemite, where we have, me and Marlene, but that was the kids' first time. But Devil's Postpile, none of us have ever been to. It's another one of these places that we always took for granted. And now, between mid-June and September, you cannot get there with your own vehicle because there's not enough parking, there's too many people who want to go. So you have to park at the ski resort's main lodge and take a shuttle bus. Now, because it's part of the national park system, if you have a national park pass, you don't have to pay an entry fee. But since the shuttle is required, you do have to pay for a shuttle fee, which is $15 per adult, $7 per child. And that is pretty crazy. There's no other option. During this time of the year, you have no choice but to pay if you want to go, which is kind of a bummer because that is really expensive just to go see one of our national park units, which there's something about it that doesn't sit right with me. For us, it would be $51. But there's still a lot of stuff you can see. You can come up to right here. It's called Minaret Vista. Minaret Vista, it's 9,600-ish feet. For the first 15 years of Yosemite's existence, this valley was part of Yosemite. And in 1905, they decided they want to remove that from Yosemite because there was, of course, money to be made. Mining interests lobbied against our government, which made this part to be excluded from the Yosemite National Park system. But since then, further conservation efforts have made this protected again, which is good to see. Not being able to park down there and not having a inexpensive option to get down there to see Devil's Postpile is kind of a shame. However, what we did find is a huge patch of dirty snow, and Luca's very excited about it. He wishes he had gloves, but since he doesn't, he's wearing socks in his hands.
Dirty socks. Luca, you don't have me first. I didn't do anything to you. I thought.
I made the biggest snowball ever and I missed.
This is a very dirty patch of snow.
Yeah, but you can like.
Don't get it on me.
Touch it.
But look how big this patch of snow is. August 3rd. Snow hasn't melted.
Yeah.
Mammoth Lakes is one of the busiest areas along Highway 395. Once a quaint little mountain village with a ski hill, has now become one of the most popular resorts in California. In our college days, we made trips here to snowboard twice a month during the ski season, representing the school's ski and snowboard team. I wouldn't say we were exceptional riders, but rather the emphasis of our contests were less competition and more social gathering. We had to compete in 2 heats, then we got our lift tickets for the rest of the day for only $25. Not a bad deal for a bunch of starving college kids. More than 750,000 years ago, the Long Valley caldera was formed right here near modern-day Mammoth Lakes. Till this day, magma underground powers a nearby geothermal generating station, providing clean energy for the area. That same geothermal energy is also the heat source of various hot springs. With popularity of the Eastern Sierra rising over the recent decades, What were once local secrets are no longer. We camped at the parking lot of one of the nearby hot springs for a few nights and enjoyed numerous dips during our stay. If we waited long enough, day visitors will all eventually go home, leaving the place all to ourselves. Our time with the foil camper is slowly coming to an end. As we continue our way south towards LA, the temperature began to climb. By the time we arrived in Bishop, it was well into the 90s. That means we won't be spending much more time on our favorite stretch of the highway in the United States. But there is one more place we're looking forward to visiting. In most of our previous extended stays in the area, we were towing a 25-foot, 8,000-pound Airstream travel trailer. That meant we never had the right vehicle to come all the way up to White Mountain Road to see the famous ancient bristlecone pines. There are other clonal trees that date back as far as 14,000 years old. Species like quaking aspens can sprout a massive grove of genetically identical clones. Technically speaking, one can argue that every clone of the original colony continues the life of the colony as they share the same root system. But in the White Mountains of Inyo National Forest, the oldest non-clonal tree has been surviving for the past 4,842 years. I say surviving because that is what ancient bristlecone pines are designed to do. The arid climate, high elevation, and cold winter conditions make it difficult for many species of flora and fauna to exist here. But Methuselah is built different. Today we're finally making our way up in hopes to find the ancient patriarch. Methuselah was discovered by dendrochronologists Edmund Shulman and Tom Harlan. The sample revealed the tree to have an age of 4,789 years in 1957, with a mind-boggling germination date of 2,833 BC. The exact location of the tested tree is hidden for its safety, but on this hike, you're guaranteed to see many of the species dating well into the 4,000-year-old range.
Here, more moisture is retained because it receives less direct sunlight than the south-facing slope. You can see across the canyon. Snow and water will melt and evaporate slowly on this northern slope, giving the tree more opportunity to use it. Notice how sparse the trees are on the south-facing slope. Across the canyon, I can't breathe. It's 10,000 feet.
This is the south-facing slope.
This exposes how weak you are breathing.
That's south-facing. We're on the north-facing. Other slope there. There's like a really gnarly-looking tree. Like its branches are all twisting. The trunk is all twisted up. But why did some of these look crazier than others? They start twisting when they get older?
Yeah, probably. Didn't have the number on.
High alkaline dolomite soil. This gives the slow-growing bristlecone a chance to grow nearly competition-free. Although you can hardly call it soil, the white rock and rubble reflects sunlight and stays 2 to 5 degrees Fahrenheit cooler than nearby darker sandstone.
There's a west bench soon.
Let's keep going. Let's go find this bench.
It's like right around the corner. We're gonna stack them right there.
Really?
Yeah, I looked at the map.
If there's one right on the corner and we sat there for nothing, I'm gonna be real mad.
It's like once you take like a white ton, it's there.
How's the bench?
Benchy.
What are you doing, tree growing out of a rock?
You know what ground is?
So he's got, oh my god, look how crazy that tree looks.
Water nutrients move up from the roots to the wood tissue in the trunk of the tree. This sapwood acts like a pipe which eventually fills in to become the heartwood, the structural support of the tree. Bristlecone wood is very...
Whoa, bird!
Turkey vulture.
It's so close.
Yeah, it's trying to eat us. We're not dead yet.
Yet! Keyword!
Bristlecone wood is very resinous and difficult for the fungus to attack. However, this particular tree in front of you has weakened from the inside by heart rot and eventually died. Note how the center of the tree is rotted and nearly gone.
I didn't need hardwood that badly. That's why animals can live in trees.
How do you even count the rings? Are they like so tight? The rings are so tight you can't even really easily count them.
Yeah.
Huh? Bench number 2. All the benches have really nice views.
Yeah, but it's not very nice if someone's hogging it.
You want their albums to come out a month later?
On tourists too.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Have you guys ever discussed K-pop albums at 11,000 feet before?
Just now.
Is that the grove over there?
While the new needles may be easy to spot, a bristlecone's yearly growth is not. With its limited resources and short growing season, only a thin layer of new tissue, a growth ring, is added to the trunk, branches, and roots each year. A 1-inch thickness of growth may take a century to accomplish. Where conditions are tougher, such as this ridge, growth is even slower. The sapling to your right, about the same size as the tree at the last stop, could be much older. It will continue to grow ever so slowly, and as the centuries pass, may begin to look like the tree to your left. It may not grow much taller on this exposed rocky ridge, but will continue to add small amounts of tissue, resulting in very dense wood.
They call this a sapling. It looks... Is this still alive even?
Sapling's on the right.
Is your face alive in it?
Or maybe that other one. That looks like a...
Oh, this one. That one looks more alive. What are they saying? This one's like 100 years old? 100-year-old sapling. If you didn't know, just cut it down for a Christmas tree. Murdering a 100-year-old tree. By the time we hit the 4-mile mark, we're going to feel like we're home.
Well, legs will feel like they're in heaven.
These trees, many of which are thousands of years old, have been sculpted by wind, ice, and extreme exposure to the elements. Their contorted shapes seem to define nature. Take the trail slowly and be sure to enjoy this natural sculptured garden.
Look at these.
I'll be pretty sad if the growth of just like this.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that one. It looks like it
Whoa.
sticks wrapped around the branch. Like a
The
circular.
crazy twirls.
Excuse me, Papa. I'm gonna...
It looks like it's gonna
What
fall
must
on
have
me
happened
right
to that branch for it to twirl like that?
You have arrived at a historic location. In 1957, Dr. Edmund Schulman, searching for climate records and tree rings, bored a tree from this grove. Upon counting the rings under the microscope back at camp, he nearly shouted at his colleagues, "We've got 4,000 plus tree!" The oldest living tree had been found. It is dated to be over 4,600 years old. Schulman named this tree Methalusa.
Chiplodlo, Chiploplete, Chipoodle, Chipatople.
It is unmarked for its protection, but it continues to survive, even produce viable seeds, just like many of its 3,000 and 4,000-year-old neighbors. Greater adversity grows stronger trees, century after century after century.
We've got a 4,000 plus tree!
Right behind you, you're right.
You think this one is Methuselah?
Looks like it.
I would say it's not on the trail.
It doesn't have to be the biggest one. In fact, they survive so long because they grow very slowly. So it may not be. That's why he has to count the rings under a microscope.
Oh, there's more people. Cheese.
After more than 2.5 miles, we just made it past the Methuselah Grove. We don't know which one it is, and we're not supposed to know which one it is for its protection. That could be her right there. Or he. I don't know. Is Methuselah a boy or girl?
It's they, probably.
It's a they.
I'm not sure if trees
It's
have
they.
gender.
But Methuselah is here somewhere.
Wow, this one's crazy.
Over 4,000 years old. Every single one of these trees here are thousands of years old. So it's not just like, oh yeah, we didn't find the one that's old. I mean, look at all these trees. Look at all these ones up here. Look at these ones that were just kind of casually walking by. You know? Oh, no big deal. I'm 2,500 years old. I was here before Jesus. No big deal. That's my friend. He's 1,200 years older than me. That could be Methuselah. Look at this angle. This angle, you see all kinds of old ones. Look at all those. This is the part of the world where the oldest, possibly the oldest, living organism exists. Nowhere else in the world has a life form that's this old, which is really mind-boggling to think about. So, we're really lucky to be here, kids. 2.5 miles, no big deal, right?
Respect your elders.
There's gonna be some uphill coming up.
Bruh.
Dun, dun, dun! 2.5 mile mark.
18 is wood changes color. The exposed dead wood of these ancient trees seem to have their own color palette. Yellows, browns, and russets make for a colorful display. Fungi that feeds on the exposed wood of the tree are partially responsible for these colors. Sunshine, wind, ice, and aging all have their effect. Polished surfaces like the tree behind you are the result of wind and ice blasting the surface in the winter months for thousands of years.
That's pretty big.
This is a dramatic water bottle for scale. We don't have a banana.
Crystal cones were made famous for their age, but are most important to science because of their ability to record climate trends. Because the year's growth depends entirely on the conditions of that year, the trees are sensitive to environmental changes, unlike a tree that may grow next to a stream and have the same amount of available moisture each year. Bristlecone's sensitive nature gives scientists records of the past. Climates, droughts, severe frost, fires, and volcanic eruptions can all be recorded in these ancient pieces of wood.
Dendrochronologists.
Yeah. Oh, the piece from this specimen is dated from 1000 BC to 650 AD.
Wow.
The growth rings are very hard to see because they are so thin. An inch may contain 100 or sometimes up to 300 growth rings.
Like in here.
I'm gonna try to count one.
It says
There's no way.
the birth of Christ is right here.
Oh my God.
No, oh my Christ.
Right here. This is the year.
I
This
literally
is the
see
year
one.
0. What? This is the year 0. And which way does it go out? It goes out this way. So this is the center right here. This is near the center. Right? Because you can see the... Is
I
this
can
the
only
ring?
count the wings.
You have microscope eyes?
Yeah, see? Yeah, but go right here. One.
Are you okay?
Maybe
Birth of Christ is right here.
The line?
Yeah.
He was born through that? I thought you meant
And all this
born
other
in
stuff.
that hole.
No.
Yes, Mila. Nailed it.
Yeah.
So mean.
He came out of
That is the birth canal.
he came out of a tree.
You guys made it to a bench.
Can I have some ice? My
Last
water bottle-
bench of the hike.
My water bottle's empty. I emptied it before like 1.5 miles.
Oh,
You can have some more. Empty it into himself. You're a grumpy old troll. You're supposed to say, solve my riddle.
Solve my riddle.
Okay, now give me your riddle.
How much wood could a woodchuck
Wood.
chuck if
Let's
a
go,
woodchuck
have
could
one.
chuck wood?
0.
Now push the warlock down the cliff.
Warlock.
I'm not a warlock.
I'm a troll.
Bristol cone pine will continue to thrive in this harsh environment. Dolomite, climate, and dense wood all play roles in its secrets to longevity. Yet, there are many mysteries yet to solve. We do know that the oldest trees survive in the most difficult situations. Perhaps there is a life lesson there for all of us. We hope you take many memories with you from the trail. Continue to take in your surroundings and look for your own discoveries in this land of the ancients.
My feet have memory.
How do you feel about this very insightful number post?
I'm not a troll anymore. You can't ask me questions.
All right, let's go. Final stretch.
You lay across this, Daddy.
I'm not going to break my no bench streak.
Hi, I said.
No way.
Once you get the week streak, once you get your 7-day streak, you can't stop.
Here goes my no bench streak. Ah, this is what I've been missing this whole time.
Yeah.
So good.
You've been missing a child too.
How far are we?
Oh. Wait. I can. Ow, my finger.
You do a crazy selfie. That video was probably so good when you're extending it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, are you taking a photo?
No.
Oh, come take a photo.
You can probably barely hear us right now.
Take a screenshot of the video, Mama.
Yeah, screenshot the video.
Bad.
Oh yeah,
No, it's not.
Oh yeah, the other
It's
people are
good.
coming. They're like, how are they all cramming onto that bench? We
Yeah.
can barely fit two.
Let's go. Final stretch. Here it is. We've completed the loop. This is where the beginning of the loop, where it forks. We went up that way a little less than 3 hours ago. So now we're going back to the car. We deserve hamburgers from Burger Barn or sandwiches from Mahogany Smoked Meats. We haven't exactly decided which one yet. It's gonna be one of those. But first, we're gonna drive from 10,000 feet back down to 4,000 feet.
Before we continue south to leave our beloved Highway 395 behind, we had to stop at a couple of our favorite eateries in Bishop for old time's sake.
Our favorite is the brisket, sweet and spicy brisket, and this. That's our favorite, these two. 2 in 1 now. So then this is the best.
Actually, my secret.
Potato salad. Don't move something.
Not a pickle. Open it up.
Cross section.
What'd you get? I got chili. I like
That's chili too.
I like cheddar sandwiches.
The best potato salad. Pulled pork.
Yeah, lift it a bit higher. Oh, no, it's not focusing.
Don't go too crazy. You guys pick one. Mama's probably want this almond one. Almond pull away bread. Will they have apple pull away?
Do you think, Mom, what about the pecan roll? Do you know how that's that? Look at mine. Look at it. Oh my god, fish! Look at mine. Ow!
Why are you putting your hand behind it?
Yeah, come on.
Look at this.
Don't break it. Don't break it.
Wanna show us the stuff we got?
I got this. Neil got a pig.
I hope you enjoy hanging out with us through these last few weeks on our summer back in the US. Thanks again for Foil Campers for lending us this rig to make it happen. Soon, we will be reunited with our van in southern Mexico as we continue south towards Tierra del Fuego at the bottom of South America.